Do you ever catch yourself scrolling through social media, flipping through a magazine, or even just watching people on the street and feel a familiar, uncomfortable pang? A fleeting thought, maybe unspoken, comparing your energy levels, your appearance, your career trajectory, or even your perceived relevance to someone significantly younger? Perhaps you see their seemingly boundless energy and feel a weariness settle in your own bones. Maybe you notice their smooth skin or trendy clothes and suddenly feel invisible or outdated in your own. Or perhaps you hear about their recent promotion, their new venture, their bustling social life, and feel a sense of stagnation, a feeling that your most productive or exciting years are irrevocably behind you. This quiet, insidious habit of comparing ourselves to younger generations is incredibly common, especially in a culture that often idolizes youth and equates newness with value. But here's the harsh truth. Constantly measuring yourself against a younger benchmark is not just unhelpful. It's actively detrimental to your happiness, your self-esteem, and your ability to fully embrace the unique richness and wisdom of your current life stage. It's like trying to run a marathon while constantly looking over your shoulder at the sprinters on a different track. It's exhausting, demoralizing, and ultimately prevents you from appreciating your own endurance and the path you're actually on. This constant comparison is a trap, a thief of joy that whispers insidious lies about inadequacy and decline. It ignores the incredible value of your accumulated experience, the depth of your resilience, the unique perspective only time can bestow. It forces you into a competition you can never win, because you are not meant to be competing with your younger self or with younger people. You are meant to be evolving into the most authentic, wise, and fulfilled version of yourself right now. So, if you find yourself caught in this comparison cycle, feeling less than simply because you're no longer 25 or 35 or even 45, then this conversation is for you. Today, we're going to delve deep into why this comparison is so damaging, explore the psychological roots behind it, and most importantly, discuss practical, empowering strategies to break free from this self-defeating habit. It's time to stop looking backward or sideways with envy and start looking inward and forward with appreciation and confidence, embracing the unique power and beauty that comes only with age and experience. Let's begin the journey of reclaiming your self-worth, independent of age. One of the primary reasons comparing ourselves to younger people is so detrimental is that it forces us to measure ourselves against entirely different life stages, experiences, and biological realities. It's like comparing an oak tree to a sapling. Both have value, beauty, and purpose, but they are fundamentally different, shaped by different seasons and serving different functions in the ecosystem. Younger individuals often possess advantages inherent to their life stage. Peak physical energy, faster recovery times, skin elasticity fostered by peak collagen production, perhaps fewer accumulated responsibilities, and often a societal bias that favors youth in areas like career advancement or perceived attractiveness based on conventional standards. They are typically in the building phase of life, establishing careers, starting families, exploring identities. Their energy is often directed outwards, focused on growth, achievement, and navigating the intense social and professional landscapes of early to mid-adulthood. When we, as older adults, look at this vibrant energy, this seemingly effortless climb, and compare it to our own current reality, perhaps dealing with physical limitations, managing chronic health conditions, navigating retirement transitions, or possessing a different kind of, often quieter energy, we inevitably fall short if we use their yardstick. We forget that we already ran that part of the race. We've climbed those particular mountains, weathered those specific storms. Our energy now might be different, perhaps less explosive, but potentially more focused, more efficient, grounded in wisdom rather than restless ambition. Our bodies bear the marks of time. Yes, wrinkles, gray hair, maybe a few more aches. But these are not signs of failure. They are markers of a life lived, battles won, experiences weathered. our priorities shift. Maybe external achievements matter less than inner peace, deep connections, or leaving a meaningful legacy. Trying to reclaim the physical attributes or boundless energy of youth is not only futile, but also disrespects the journey that has brought us to where we are now. It ignores the strength it took to get here, the lessons learned, the resilience built. Consider Helen, a vibrant 68-year-old retiree who found herself feeling increasingly discouraged after joining a mixed-age hiking group. While she loved being outdoors, she couldn't keep up with the brisk pace set by the 30 and 40-somethings in the group. She'd watch them bound up hills while she carefully navigated trickier sections, needing more frequent breaks. Initially, she felt inadequate, embarrassed, even angry at her own body for failing her. Thoughts like, "I used to be able to do this easily," or "they probably think I'm holding them back," plagued her. This comparison almost made her quit the group she genuinely enjoyed. One day, an older member of the group, noticing her frustration, sat with her during a break. "Helen," he said gently, "you're comparing your seasoned stride to their sprint. They have the energy of the morning sun. We have the endurance of the afternoon glow. They're focused on the summit. Perhaps we can focus more on the view along the way. Your experience lets you notice things they might miss in their rush." This perspective shift was transformative for Helen. She realized she wasn't failing. She was simply operating at a different, equally valid stage. She stopped trying to match their pace and instead focused on enjoying the hike at her own rhythm, appreciating the nature around her, and offering insights from her years of hiking experience to the younger members when appropriate. She embraced her role as the afternoon glow, offering steady endurance and appreciation rather than trying to reignite the morning sun. By accepting her current reality and stopping the unfair comparison, she regained her joy and confidence, continuing to hike happily with the group, albeit sometimes at the back, taking in the view. Comparing apples and oranges or oak trees and saplings is pointless. Appreciating each for its unique qualities is where true value lies. Furthermore, this constant comparison often stems from and feeds into deeply ingrained societal ageism. We live in a culture that often implicitly or explicitly suggests that youth is the ideal, and aging is a process of decline to be fought, masked, or ignored. Media bombards us with images of youthful beauty, energy, and success, while often portraying older adults as frail, out of touch, or burdensome. This relentless messaging can subtly seep into our subconscious, leading us to internalize these negative stereotypes and judge ourselves harshly against an impossible standard. We might start believing that wrinkles are flaws to be erased rather than maps of our experiences, that slowing down physically means we are somehow less valuable, or that not being up to date on the latest fleeting trend makes us irrelevant. This internalized ageism fuels the comparison trap. We compare our appearance to filtered images of younger influencers, forgetting the natural biological changes and the lifetime of expressions etched on our faces. We compare our career stage, perhaps one of winding down or enjoying retirement, to the ambitious climb of younger colleagues, forgetting the decades of contribution we've already made. We compare our social circles, which may have naturally become smaller and deeper, to the seemingly vast networks of younger people navigating different life phases. This societal pressure creates a fertile ground for discontent. It tells us we should look younger, feel more energetic, be more relevant, according to fleeting external standards. When we inevitably don't meet these unrealistic expectations, the comparison leads to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and diminished self-worth. Breaking free requires consciously challenging these societal narratives. It means recognizing ageist messages for what they are, often commercially driven or based on superficial values, and actively refusing to internalize them. It involves celebrating the signs of aging as evidence of a life fully lived, not as imperfections to be ashamed of. It requires shifting our definition of value away from youthful appearance or frenetic activity towards wisdom, resilience, experience, authenticity, and the unique con. He'd scroll through LinkedIn and see younger professionals using jargon he didn't understand, launching flashy digital campaigns, and seemingly achieving success overnight. He started feeling like his decades of experience in traditional marketing were obsolete. He compared his quiet retirement routine, reading, gardening, spending time with his wife, to their high-powered careers and felt a pang of insignificance. He confessed this feeling to his daughter, a woman in her late 30s working in tech. His daughter listened patiently and then said something that struck him. "Dad, you're comparing your harvest season to their planting season. They're hustling and using tools you didn't have, yes, but you built foundations they're now building upon. And honestly, many of them would kill for the peace and wisdom you have now. Your irrelevance looks a lot like freedom and perspective to us." David realized he had internalized the tech world's obsession with newness and forgotten the enduring value of his strategic thinking, his understanding of human nature, and his leadership skills developed over 40 years. He started volunteering as a mentor for young entrepreneurs through a local organization. Sharing his hard-earned wisdom, guiding them through strategic challenges, he found a new sense of relevance and purpose that wasn't tied to chasing the latest trend but grounded in his deep well of experience. Remind yourself that aging is a natural process, not a personal failing. Consider Barbara, 66, who constantly compared her appearance to younger women, feeling insecure about her wrinkles and changing body shape. She spent a lot of time and money on anti-aging products, feeling frustrated when they didn't magically erase the years. She realized this comparison was stealing her joy. She decided to take concrete steps. First, she drastically reduced her time on Instagram, unfollowing accounts that focused heavily on youthful beauty standards. Second, whenever she caught herself criticizing her reflection, she consciously stopped and forced herself to find one thing she did appreciate about her appearance that day. Maybe the sparkle in her eyes, the way her silver hair caught the light, or the strength in her hands. Third, she shifted her focus from looking young to feeling healthy and vibrant. She prioritized exercise she enjoyed, like swimming and yoga, nourishing food, and activities that brought her genuine pleasure, like gardening and joining a book club. Fourth, she started practicing gratitude specifically for her age and experience, journaling about the wisdom gained, the resilience built, and the freedom from certain pressures she felt when younger. It wasn't an overnight fix, but gradually, Barbara found the comparisons losing their power. She began to feel more comfortable and confident in her own skin, appreciating her appearance as a reflection of her life journey, not as something failing to meet an external, youthful ideal. She stopped competing and started appreciating. One of the most powerful antidotes to comparing yourself to younger people is to actively cultivate gratitude for the unique gifts and perspectives that only come with age. Youth has its advantages, certainly. Energy, perhaps physical resilience, a sense of infinite possibility. But age brings its own, often deeper, treasures. Think about the wisdom you've accumulated. You've navigated complex relationships, weathered economic ups and downs, witnessed historical shifts, learned from mistakes, and celebrated triumphs. This lived experience gives you a perspective, a depth of understanding, and an ability to see the bigger picture that younger people simply haven't had the time to develop. This wisdom is invaluable in your own decision-making, in the guidance you can offer others, and in finding meaning in life's complexities. Consider your emotional resilience. You've likely faced significant challenges, losses, and disappointments throughout your life and emerged stronger. You've learned coping mechanisms, developed patience, and perhaps gained a greater capacity for empathy and compassion. This inner strength, forged in the fires of experience, is a profound asset that allows you to navigate current challenges with a steadiness often lacking in youth. Think about the clarity of values that often comes with age. As we get older, the superficial concerns tend to fall away. We often gain a clearer sense of what truly matters: deep relationships, health, peace of mind, contributing to something meaningful, leaving a legacy. This clarity allows us to make choices more aligned with our authentic selves, free from the external pressures and societal expectations that often drive younger decisions. Reflect on the potential for deeper connections. While social circles might naturally shrink, the relationships that remain often deepen. There's less pretense, more authenticity, and a shared history that creates a unique intimacy with long-term friends and family. There's also the freedom that can come with later life, perhaps freedom from the demands of raising young children or building a career, freedom to pursue passions, freedom to say no more easily, freedom from caring quite so much about others' opinions. This freedom, when embraced, is a powerful source of contentment. When you actively focus on and appreciate these gifts, wisdom, resilience, clarity, deeper connections, freedom, the allure of comparing yourself to youth diminishes. You realize you possess something they don't yet have, something earned, something valuable. Imagine Richard, 75, initially feeling envious of his 30-something nephew's seemingly carefree life. The travel, the late nights, the constant stream of new gadgets. Richard felt his own life, post-retirement and dealing with some minor health issues, seemed dull in comparison. He decided to actively practice gratitude for his current stage. He started listing things only his age could bring: the deep comfort and shared history with his wife of 50 years, the joy of watching his grandchildren grow, offering guidance from his own parenting experience, the time to read history books deeply, connecting dots he missed when younger and busier, the ability to mentor a young neighbor interested in woodworking, sharing skills honed over decades, the perspective to let small annoyances slide, knowing what truly matters. As he focused on these unique aspects of his life, the envy faded. He realized his life wasn't less than his nephew's. It was profoundly different, richer in ways that couldn't be measured by youthful energy or material possessions. He stopped comparing and started cherishing the unique landscape of his own later years. Cultivating gratitude for the gifts of age is a powerful way to shift your focus from perceived lack to recognized abundance. Ultimately, letting go of the habit of comparing yourself to younger people is an act of profound self-acceptance and liberation. It's about recognizing that each stage of life holds its own unique beauty, challenges, and opportunities. Trying to cling to youth or measure yourself against its standards is like trying to hold back the tide, exhausting and ultimately futile. Embracing where you are now, with all the changes aging brings, allows you to access a different kind of power and fulfillment. It's the power of perspective, the strength of resilience, the beauty of authenticity, and the wisdom that comes from a life fully lived. When you stop comparing, you free up enormous mental and emotional energy that can be reinvested into nurturing your health, deepening your relationships, pursuing your passions, and finding joy in the present moment. You begin to see your wrinkles not as flaws, but as laugh lines and worry lines that tell the story of your journey. You see your changing physical abilities not as limitations, but as invitations to find new ways to move and engage with the world. You see your accumulated knowledge not as outdated, but as a deep wellspring of wisdom to draw upon and share. This isn't about passively accepting decline. It's about actively embracing the evolution of who you are. It's about celebrating the person you have become, shaped by time and experience. It's about understanding that your value doesn't diminish with age. It transforms. So, the next time you feel that familiar pang of comparison creeping in, take a breath. Gently remind yourself, I am not competing, I am evolving. My worth is inherent and independent of age. Shift your focus back to your own life, your own joys, your own strengths. Celebrate the unique gifts of this chapter. By consistently choosing self-acceptance over comparison, You reclaim your peace, your confidence, and the profound, quiet beauty of aging gracefully on your own terms. What comparisons have you found yourself making, and what helps you shift your perspective? Sharing your journey can be incredibly validating for others. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below.